Welcome to Lesson 8. In this lesson, we're going to be going over how to use parity files. Now, parity files are pretty new to newsgroups. I'll go into NewsRover and I'll show you what we're talking about. Here we have a typical RAR set, Learn Russian Now. And at the bottom here, we have P01 through P07. Now, these are parity files. Now, what parity files do is they allow you to reconstruct a RAR set. Say if one of these, like say R53 was missing, we would only need one of these parity files to reconstruct it. If we had, say there's 7 here, we could have up to 7 of these RAR files missing, and we could still reconstruct it as long as we had these parity files. So I've already downloaded a RAR set with a set of parity files. Let's minimize NewsRover and come down here, and I downloaded Macromedia Cold Fusion 5. It's a web development software. Let's open that up, and you can see we have Macromedia Cold Fusion 5. That's the RAR file, and here's our parity files, and then we have the rest of the R00 through R56. Now the parity files are really what you want to make sure you get whenever you download a RAR set, assuming they're there. There's also sometimes a file, though you don't see it all the time, called PAR. The PAR file, PAR file is an index file. It's pretty much just a text file with a list of all the different RAR files and their parity files, the P01 through P0, however many. So you probably won't see this most of the time. It's not really important. Okay, now say we have everything here. We've got all the files. We've got everything. We don't even need these parity files. But say when you went to download it, R18 was missing. And we can just delete that. It's gone. Now what you do in this case is you'd use the program called Mirror. Mirror is the program that'll reconstruct a RAR set using parity files. If we open that up, come back over here. Now Mirror is a pretty simple program. There's basically just two options, create parity volume set. You'd use this if you were creating your own parity file. Say if you had a set of RAR files or even ACE files, works for ACE files as well, and you wanted to create a parity volume for them, so you could restore them if maybe one was missing, or if you're posting it to news groups, it's nice to include the parity volume set. But the second option is one you'll probably use the most, check volume set. If we click that, it'll bring up this little open dialog box. And by default, if you look down here for file types, it'll look for PAR files. But like I said, usually PAR files aren't included. The index files aren't included. So if you click here, go to PXX files, it'll show all of them. The P01 through P06 in this case. And all you got to do is just double click on any one of them, and it'll begin checking the RAR set from any missing files. And here we go, a little file report. And as you can see, R18 is missing because we deleted it. Now all you got to do to restore it is click Restore Files. It'll come up with this and ask you if you're sure you want to do it. We'll just click Yes. And it'll go about restoring the file, R18, a little percentage. And it's done. R18 OK. If you scroll down here, gives you a full report, everything's cool. If you click OK, we can see down here, R18 is there. So we've restored it. Now, let's see, we'll just refresh that, get them all in order. Bring Mirror back up. Now let's say we wanted to give it a real challenge. Say we went to download this RAR set, and see we have 6 parity files. So if we wanted to, just for a demonstration, we could delete 6 of the files. Delete that, and they're gone. And as long as we have the same number of parity files from the ones we were missing, we're cool. Now let's just do this again. Bring Mirror back up, and do check volume set. Double click on any one of the files. It'll do a search and give us our file report. And 17 through 22 are missing because we just deleted them. And same thing as before, click Restore Files. And since there's going to be more than one restore on this one, make sure you check Don't Ask Again for this set. That way it'll just go through and do them rather than asking you for each file. Now the time this takes really depends on the speed of your CPU, your hard drive, and also how big the files are. Each one of these files are pretty small. They're only, I believe, 1.38 megabytes. They're small enough to fit on a floppy disk. Most RAR files you find out there are going to be somewhere above 10, so it's going to take a little bit longer, but it'll still get done. So it's on 18, and we're just going to skip ahead. Okay, it's now on R22, which is the last file it's going to restore, and it's just about done. And it'll take us back to our file report so we can see that it got done. And there you go, 18 through 22, or was it 17 through 22? Anyway, they're all there. They're all okay. Click OK, and we can see down here it restored 17 through 22. So it's pretty cool stuff. If you're missing any one of the files, or even up to basically, it's usually 10% of the overall RAR set. If you're missing, we'll say there's roughly 60 in this RAR set, 60 RAR files. If you're missing as many as 6 of them, in this case because we have that many parity files, you can restore. Very cool stuff. So there's not as much reposting to news groups because people didn't get files. Kind of gets to be a pain. This is a good way around it. So that's how you restore RAR files with using parity files, and that's pretty much it. Welcome to FindFreeFiles.com. Do you want to make copies of DVD movies? Join FindFreeFiles.com and gain access to 11 video lessons which walk you through the process of making copies of your DVD movies so you can play them back on your home DVD player or on your personal computer.